Well, here in France, today marks the 5th anniversary of the attack on a kosher supermarket in eastern Paris. 4 people were killed, plus the attacker. That came 2 days after the terror attack on the satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. In all, 17 people were killed during the 2 days of those attacks in January 2015. And to talk a bit more about this with me now, I'm joined on the set by France 24's Clovis Casali. Clovis, tonight another ceremony is going to be held to mark this 5th anniversary of the attack on the kippah, kosher, an attack that really affected France's Jewish community.
Indeed, and it was interesting to see that on Tuesday, during the official commemorations of the government, well, very few of the families of the victims of that hostage crisis at the kosher supermarket, well, actually decided to come. Instead, they're expected to turn up outside the venue tonight for this rally organised by the Jewish community here in France. I spoke to one Jewish shopkeeper near the venue on Tuesday, and I asked him what the situation was for him, and he told me that it actually worsened for him and his community over the last few years since those dreadful attacks. He even told me he lives in the Paris suburb of Créteil. He told me that he's forbidden his son to wear his kippah on the way to the synagogue in fear that he might be targeted, insulted by people. So let's take a look at the numbers. When you look at the numbers, in 2018 you had 441 acts of antisemitism as opposed to 311 the year before. That's a 70% rise. So you have the head of the CRIF, which is the Jewish political organization here in France, who was this morning with the Justice Minister Nicole Belloubet for a breakfast where, of course, they talked about how to combat anti-Semitism. And surely the head of this political Jewish community raised serious concerns. They think that French authorities are not doing enough to protect them. And there was a recent case, the murder of Sarah Halimi, 65-year-old Jewish woman, killed by her neighbor. Well, recently a judge decided that the attacker was deemed irresponsible due to mental problems, and that caused huge controversy in the Jewish community here in France. It basically feels abandoned.